sorry for the short delay, but 7:03, we'll call the meeting to order.
Recording in progress.
Roll call. Here.
Here. Here. Here. Here.
Okay, item number 2 is Pledge of Allegiance. We all stand. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Before we go a little further, I'd like to introduce Tom Hibbert from the architectural firm of Hibbert and Rosa. Tom? New business, minutes. The regular meeting of November 15th. Are there any errors, corrections, or omissions? Any comments? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion then to accept the minutes of the regular meeting of November 15th as presented.
I'll make that motion that we accept the regular meeting minutes from November 15th, 2023.
From Serial, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Welsh. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstain?
I abstain.
Abstain. New business, we got 2 bills to pay. You'll see in the packet, $4,100 from KBA. That one's dated 10/31. And if you'll notice, if we're down a little bit further, there's Atlantic Sports Group, which is a corrected invoice dated 8/20 in the amount of $465,114. And in your packet, you'll see the backup paperwork from both Atlantic and the architect.
I'll make a motion to approve these 2 payments, $4,100 to KBA and $465,114 to Atlantic Sports Group.
Atlantic Sports Group. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Carries. B, presentation by Hibbert and Rosa on the Watertown High School and John Trumbull Primary Roof Projects. Mr. Hibbert.
So we're very happy to introduce Mr. Hibbert, who's come to join us today. The question on the table that we have that's still for us to decide is to determine who our potential project manager would be moving forward. But Mr. Hibbert has already provided us information on the scope of the work. And so today he'll talk a little bit about the different phases that his architecture firm would move through.
Okay, hold on. Is there a mic there you can speak into?
Oh, sure.
Hello?
Yep.
Is it close enough?
No,
That sound
one
good?
for Allison.
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
done
oh.
now. I'm going to turn it over to
There
Mr.
you go.
Hibbert. So.
She speaks loud enough.
There we go.
Tom Hibbert, Hibbert and Rose Architects, Middletown, Connecticut. I have provided proposals for both the Watertown High School and the John Trumbull Elementary School. I actually have a purchase order on the Watertown High School. I originally spoke with Gino Fiala, and I'm looking at that original proposal that goes back almost 3 years. I have been out to both schools quickly, a couple hours of survey, that's about it. Actually spent a little bit more time at the high school. We spent part of the day actually starting some measurements. Then I was informed it was put on hold. I thought it would be a couple months, maybe 6 months. It turned out to be 2.5 years. But that's the way things go. So, the school is about 113,000 square feet. John Trumbull is about 109 to 10,000 square feet. The high school, from what I see, and there have been some reports done, and I've had a look at those. The roof is 30 years old. It really has been pushed to its useful service life and is in need of replacement. It's big, but it's a pretty straightforward job. I guess somebody did an infrared survey many years ago, a number of years ago, and there was quite a bit of roof insulation that already had water in it. And I suspect it's probably gotten worse. I think it was something like 40% of the roof had wet insulation. So it's a complete, rip to the deck. To get a good warranty, you really have to take it down to the deck and replace the insulation and install a new roof system. If you want to go out to extended warranties, 25 and 30 years, which I would recommend. Is a very small upcharge to do that. There was also an infrared done at John Trumbull, again, I think 6, 7 years ago. Not as much wet insulation, but again, I doubt that's improved. It's probably gotten worse. And I guess there was significant problems with the asphalt shingle section of the roof. I guess there was some venting issues. I don't want to get into details too much. Like I said, I've only been out there to each school for an hour. We've done about 150 school roofs, well over 200 roof replacement projects. You got to get in there and do the survey work, see what the condition of the decks are. An attic space like John Trumbull presents a whole other set of concerns and issues that we have to address if you had a venting problem. So we got to take a look at that. There are ways to address that. The way we address ventilation and improve ventilation, sometimes we've had to actually come in and put down vertical strips on the roof, put another sheet of plywood on, and then you put the asphalt shingles back. At that point, you can go with a standing seam roof, which is self-venting. So there's a couple options we got to look at. What's more, and I think the standing seam roof is a better roof, quite honestly, if you check out the warranties. We're working along the shoreline, and the wind requirements, an asphalt shingle roof does not actually meet the wind requirements. We did one at Westbrook Town Hall, and they have the police station and emergency operations center in there. Now they've got a wind design factor of like 115 miles an hour. Asphalt shingle roof is rated to like 78 miles an hour. So, and you've got some pretty good winds up here and some good exposure. I guess there was a little bit of confusion. Not confusion, but I'll clarify. I basically did a schedule of payments. That's phase 1, 2, 3, and 4. Site investigations and recommendations. That's when we go out. We'll actually go out and do a little bit of core cut. We'll do some core cuts. Not big, but we like to examine the roof, examine from the inside, and we also do core cuts from the outside. We actually see what we have there for roof systems. John Trumbull's relatively new. What we find sometimes is when we do those core cuts, we get a good, accurate description of what's on the roof, which helps the contractors estimate demolition. We'll also do some hazardous material testing, which I really don't expect to find a lot. I mean, materials, those kind of materials are really out of roofing. And sometimes we'll get a surprise. We'll core through and find something from the original roof was left behind, like a base sheet. But we'll get a good, accurate description, and we give them good quantities, which helps in estimating. We just do a genuine, good investigation. Best person to talk to is the custodian. He knows where all the leaks are. I can tell you pretty much where we find leaks. Roofs don't leak in the field. They leak at penetration. They leak at wall flashing, so we pretty much know where to look. And we're looking at the general condition in those areas to make sure that we don't have any significant deterioration. Age of the schools, if you've been keeping up at all with the leaks, I really don't expect to find much. I really don't expect to find anything. Then we come back with some recommendations on roof systems. And that's phase one. At that point, we have drawn a plan of the roof, and we've already started to develop construction details. We're gonna have to get in there and, get good accurate measurements of the roof, of the different roof decks, and prepare what they call a schematic roof plan. You'll need that for your PCR. At that point, we started to develop all that, looking at specs, and we're developing, hopefully, we can help you also develop your front end. I don't know if the town of Watertown has a front end, we can help you with that. We base them on AAA documents. That's the easiest thing for us to do. OSCGNR is very familiar with that format. I use that for a lot of municipalities in government work. And then really it's the preparation of design. That's where we just finish up all the details. And at that point, we're ready. That's a complete set of documents to be approved by the committees and to go to the PCR, the plan completion review. A lot of times you'll see they have a prep meeting. We won't have to do the prep meeting. I've done so many of these, and we have a good reputation with the Office of School Construction Grants. They will waive that, so that'll save you some time. So we don't have to do, we just have to do the initial application, when it sounds like you have already done. Okay. Well, it has to be done in the first 10 days of the month. That's no problem. Whether it gets, we don't have to do a prep meeting. We'll just have to do the PCR meeting at the end, after it's all complete. So that will save us some time. Phase two is just bidding. Just get the documents out. That actually has become somewhat easier since the pandemic, believe it or not, because that was the impetus for us to go virtually paperless, and everything is distributed electronically, which saves you money in advertising and printing. And I don't like carrying the documents around. We don't like carrying, a couple 100 pounds of documents around anyway. So that actually goes a little bit quicker, and everything is done electronically. We're taking all the questions from bidders, via email. I can help you write up the bid, legal notices, the contracts, and I'll do a pre-bid, answer any questions, issue addendum. I always issue at least one addendum. I call it my administrative addendum. That includes just when the final questions are due for the job, and we always put the scan in the attendance sheet. So we always have one addendum. And then the last phase is the construction phase. When we go to construction, these projects will take, at a minimum, a full summer. These are big projects. We have some really good roofing contractors in Connecticut. They like to bid my jobs. And I will also tell you, because of the size, if I get a job that's 40,000 square feet, I'll have 6, 7, 8 bidders. The size of these jobs is going to bring down the number of bidders. And that's not bad. That's just the contractors being realistic about what they can handle. We just bid a very big job, 121,000 square feet in Southington. We didn't get a lot of bidders. But we got Silktown Roofing, which is very good, and we got a very competitive bid. So it doesn't necessarily hurt you. It's just contractors recognizing that they have to meet their obligations in the summer. So, I don't know what other details you may want.
So I'll just do a refresh, since we're not always together at the same time. So the first roof to go out for application is the John Trumbull roof, because then we'll be at maximum reimbursement as of late October. So now we're already into November, so our window is open for application. The next roof to go would be Watertown High School in March. That will be for almost 100% reimbursement, but off by a couple percentage points. We anticipate that the length of time in which Department of Administrative Services will be able to go through that second application, we anticipate will probably be at the full reimbursement rate anyway, just because all of the HVAC that's going to be backed up, that roof is probably going to get stuck a little bit in the queue, but the John Trumbull roof is ready to go at this point. With the open project manager bid on the table, we would choose from the 3 that bid, that you received packets from in the last meeting. That person would work together with someone like Hibbert and Rosa Architects. As you know, Mr. Hibbert and his company already knows a great deal of detail about our organization. I just want to clarify also what happened with the existing PO. The existing PO was for $21,500. As Mr. Hibbard said, he thought it was going to be a 6-month delay, but it had been 2.5 years. So we had completed $7,500 worth to help us get to the capital table to even get that to referendum, which included the pictures and the estimates of what it would be, and so we have paid that. Because we cannot keep funds on our books for more than a year through audit, we closed out the PO, and so the remainder of that PO has been closed out. However, we have been in continued contact with Hibbard and Rosa Architects, which is a silver lining for us, because we can then open this up to bid again to other folks and see if we catch anybody. However, what we do have is a leg up here that Hibbard and Rosa already knows a great amount of detail of this work and has already done the first phase, so it would already come in a little bit differently when the bids come in. So I just want to be transparent about how that will work, and again, I've been talking with Mr. Hibbard, and we're thankful for his partnership, and we're thankful for his patience in waiting with us all this time. With that being said, the next part here, once we do determine who our project manager will be, once you appoint who that will be, the application will work in tandem with Mr. Hibbard to get up to DAS.
A question. The estimates that you gave us, or gave the Board of Ed some time ago, how realistic are they today? We still within the ballpark? You know, they've already gone to a bond issue for money.
How much was the dollar value for the roofs?
4.9.
Yeah.
I've gone over it with,
For which,
who's
4.9,
assisted you in it,
yeah. 4.9 for which school?
for the high school.
And let me, when we increased the contingency, we were reassured from the estimates from Garland that we were in the same ballpark area.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we haven't gotten into any in-depth investigation. I think you should be okay barring anything, you know, major we discover. And that's. And what was the other one?
Here we go, sorry.
What about venting issues?
Well, speak up.
Okay, so 4.9715 for the Watertown High School.
4.971.
971. And then for John Trumbull,
Oh.
oh, I'm sorry, it was 3.850 for one section,
Oh, wait, 3.850.
000. Yep, and then another 700,000 for the
Low
second
slope.
section. Yep,
And that was going to be kind of a restoration, wasn't it?
correct.
Right.
Yeah, but the 3.9. Yeah, that should be. I mean, like I said, without having done any in-depth investigation, barring any really major surprises, I think we're okay.
Question. Dr. Villanova, part of the confusion at the November 15th meeting was whether we had architecture or whether we still need architecture, construction documents to go to bid. And while I can appreciate that Hibbert and Rosa sort of hung in there with the town for quite some time now, you have to go out now again.
Correct.
And so Hibbert and Rosa would bid for the architectural work, even though they have a leg up, so to speak?
Correct.
Okay.
That will also give us an opportunity to put that in for reimbursement to the EAS.
Mhm.
And we still need the documents anyhow. I do also have to just plug, we have been in contact with the state as well, just to get good guidance, and the state has really only recommended Mr. Hibbert and his organization for the quality of work and caliber that they provide. So, but again, we will be fair in every possible way. It is an open bid and will go up.
Of course, the reason I was asking is because when we talk about the program manager proposals, they have a line item to help you with the selection of the architect, and I just wanted to be clear.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
All three of them do?
I believe so. I believe so. I mean, that was what was requested in the
That is a
RFQ,
requirement.
that they take you through consultant selection, through design, and then through construction, and the paperwork for the state.
I will tell you this also. We do not leave the job. I mean, we really will stay on the job. We want to make sure this job gets closed out. It's amazing to me how many municipalities have jobs. It takes a while to close one out. It takes like a year.
You want for years?
But it's amazing how many towns I see have 3, 4, and 5 years. And we've
Then
never
they can't
been
find
in
the
that
documents.
situation. What?
Then they can't find the documents.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
the towns, some can't, sometimes can't find them, but, you know, you gotta, I mean, a year sounds crazy, but that is actually a timely
Correct.
phase. But I've seen towns there, they drag them out for 3, 4, 5 years, they don't close them out. And that's the date that the state says, when they approve it, that's when your 20-year clock starts.
Correct.
And we see towns, oh, we got a 20-year roof, and they can't get reimbursement until you're 24 or 25.
That's why we have a 30-year-old.
When would the documents come out for the bidding, for the architect?
As soon as we identify who our project manager will be, we'll sit down with them right away and get a timeline from them. They've already put it in the packet of what they're proposing. I say we, me personally, I just had a goal to get this in before the end of the year, before the end of the calendar year, so we could get a little leg up before HVAC totally hits DAS.
Okay. Any other questions? Mr. Hibbert, do you have anything else to say?
Not at this time. I hope I put in a good proposal, and it's well-received, and would like to work with you and look forward to working with you.
Okay. So we'll put it on the calendar for the November meeting to pick the project manager.
December
Separate.
meeting. December meeting.
Please, December. Time is going by so fast. Any other comments from anybody? Anything under old business, which basically we just discussed? I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Thank you.